Welcome back to another Random Bits. This video is the first video in a series aimed at teaching you the basics of computer programming, also known as coding. So what is coding? Well, coding is the act of writing instructions for a computer to follow, and this is typically done using a programming language. So what is a programming language then? Well, computers are powered by electricity, and at their simplest level, they represent everything as on or off, or ones and zeros. The list of ones and zeros you see here are actually a computer program that prints the word hello to the screen. In the picture on the top, you can see the ENIAC being programmed in 1946. This was done by wiring up 20 of these large panels called accumulators. The ENIAC was one of the world's first digital general-purpose computers, and it weighed over 27 tons. The two women in the picture, Marilyn Meltzer and Ruth Telterbaum, were two of the 6 women who programmed the ENIAC to calculate things like artillery ballistic tables, and were the world's first real programmers. The picture at the bottom is the Altair, the first microcomputer kit launched in 1974. It was programmed by toggling those silver switches you see on its front. Of course, programming in ones and zeros or in machine code wasn't very easy to do, and programmers wrote their programs in assembly language, which was much easier to do. This program also prints out hello, and as you can see, it is much easier to read than all those ones and zeros. Assembly language programs were then coded into ones and zeros, often by hand, and this is probably where the term coding comes from. In the picture, you can see a program tape for the Harvard Mark I computer. You can see the program's instructions punched as holes into the paper tape. If you look carefully, you can also see where pieces of sticky tape have been used to patch up mistakes on the coding by covering up some of the holes. And this is where we get the term software patch from. Now, whilst far better than the ones and zeros, machine language wasn't exactly easy to learn. It was also very low level, so writing any complicated programs was very hard to do. In the 1950s, that all changed. First off, in 1952, Grace Hopper developed A0, widely regarded as the first compiler. A0 basically allowed program instructions to be written in an English-like language, which were then compiled into machine code by the A0 compiler. From A0, she went on to develop Flowmatic, which then led to the development of COBOL in 1960. COBOL being one of the most widely used programming languages ever. About the same time, in 1957, a team led by John Backus released Fortran, which is seen as the first general-purpose programming language ever created. With the advent of COBOL and Fortran, programming was accessible to a far wider group of people, and the use of computers for business and science skyrocketed. Now, instead of machine or assembly code, coders could use human-like language to write their programs. Our hello example now looks something like this, with COBOL program at the top there, and a Fortran program at the bottom. Much easier to understand. In the last 60 years, thousands of different programming languages have been created. This diagram shows some of the languages and how different languages are related to each other. If you're wondering why there are so many languages, the answer is that as programs and computer systems have become more complicated, people have invented new programming languages to support new concepts to manage this complexity. This series of Learn to Code videos are going to focus on 2 of these programming languages, namely Lua and C#. Each video will discuss a particular programming concept and demonstrate it in both of the programming languages, so you can see how the programming languages are similar and how they are different. And also, hopefully, you will be able to apply the same concepts to other programming languages. I've chosen Lua because it is a lightweight scripting language. It's designed for embedding into other software, and it is used in game engines such as Pico 8 and Love. C#, on the other hand, is a general-purpose object-oriented programming language, and it is developed by Microsoft, and it's widely used in the software industry. It is also the programming language of choice for the Unity game engine. I hope you will enjoy this series of videos. Please like and share them, and as always, thank you for watching.